the Successful Mind Podcast.
Successful people learn how to make their minds work for them. I'm David Nagel, and this is the Successful Mind Podcast. Hey everybody, David Nagel, the Successful Mind Podcast. All right, let's talk about a question that I get frequently. The idea is, how can I have this experience of breaking out of the matrix where I am? Don't I need other things to be able to do it? Don't I need to move or have more money or go somewhere else or have a different experience? And the answer is no. There's a great book, if you've never read the book, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. And in that book, he said something, and I remember when I first read this back in 96, he was like, in order to transform, and the idea is to start from the spiritual nature or the energetic nature of who we actually are. It's about becoming bigger than your current place in order to expand into something different, right? Kind of like the way evolution is supposed to work. But this is a little bit different because it's an attitude or the way that you're looking at the world that you're currently in. Now, so let's think about something. If you have a goal right now, a futuristic goal, write down what you think you're going to be, feel like, or experience when it is that you hit that goal. So what I'm asking you is, why are you setting the goal that you're setting? Now, I'm not making you wrong. I'm not trying to say don't set a goal, so don't mishear me. What I'm asking you to do is to kind of analyze why you're setting the goal. A large error that people make when they set goals, right, measurable, tangible goals for themselves, is that they believe that when they accomplish the goal, it's going to change their life experience. And that's an illusion. That's not actually true. I have watched many people that I've worked with help them become millionaires for the first time. And when they get to the million, they look around and they're like, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. Something's wrong. And then I have to explain to them that they have a series of beliefs and ideas in their mind about how they will change, how life will change, how their perception of things will be different if they just had the money. But the money doesn't do that, right? If you have $1 in front of you or a stack of, $1 million in front of you, neither one is actually going to change who you are as a person. It's who you change in the journey to accomplish the goal. But then there's another piece, and that is, I will do things different when I get to the goal. I see this a lot with money, but it's also with houses and cars and planes and, boyfriends and girlfriends and the whole thing. I will change when I get it. If I could just get there and get that goal, like everything in my life would be better. And I'll say, what is it that you think the goal is going to bring you that you can't do right now? And usually people will go, well, here's all these things that I do. I can't buy the car, I can't buy the house, I can't get the girlfriend, I can't, whatever. They'll start making some kind of a list. Can't do these things for my kids, can't go on vacation. And what I point out to them is that they need to look at the situation they're in and learn to maximize everything that they think that they want futuristically right where they are now. And I'll tell you from my own experience how I did this. When I was studying, when I was working for somebody else, before I started my own company 25 years ago, I was in a 980 square foot ranch house in northern Illinois. And I had 4 kids. There were 6 of us in the house, plus a cat and a dog. A couple goldfish on top of that. They had their own little space. But the thing was this. I learned this principle. Everything that you say that you want futuristically, start creating it right now. Start being that person right now. And I heard somebody say that they wanted a house because they wanted a more beautiful environment. And then I heard somebody respond to them and say, how beautiful are you making the environment that you're in now? And they look puzzled and they go, well, I'm not doing anything to it because I want this other place. And they said, in order to attract the other place, maximize the beauty of what it is that you have now. And I thought to myself, that's brilliant, because I need to become the person that's going to manifest this other thing that I want. And this works for money too, and I'll get to that. So I began to change my house. We added addition onto the house, which gave us a couple of extra bedrooms. It gave us more space. Got rid of all the old carpeting and all the old cheap furniture and started buying nice things that were appropriate for the level of the house, but it really made the house look beautiful. Completely redecorated the inside of it, top to bottom. Put in a garden, put in beautiful flowers all over, put a gazebo in the back that was like stunning. Doing everything that I could with that property to express the beauty that I wanted to create and to experience the beauty that I wanted to create. And that changes your expectation in life. It's not the destination that changes the expectation. It is creating the vision in real time for what it is that you're currently doing. Now, with the money part, what's interesting about that is that the law, the universal law, says give and you'll receive. But most people start from the place where they go, but I don't have anything to give in order to receive. And that is, a person needs to change the view inside of their mind of the universe that they're living in, the situation that they're actually perceiving their world to be. So right now, a person thinks, well, I have to get to the other side of this financial goal so that I have more money to be able to give. Now, years ago, way back in Tony Robbins' Personal Power tapes, back in the early 90s, he said something that kind of addressed this in a very interesting way. He said, you need to learn to give where you are now and to give generously. He said, but what do you think is more difficult, giving 10 cents out of $1 or giving 100,000 out of $1 million? Think about that for a second. And then he pointed out this fact. He said, if you're not willing to give 10 cents out of $1 now, based on where you are right now, you'll never give 100,000 out of $1 million once you get there. Because the view of what it is that you're doing and how you perceive what you have is actually based in lack. It's not based in abundance. But the universal law is abundance. We live in an abundant universe. Even if you look down and say, I don't have enough of anything, you have way more than you think that you have. But you will only see it when you actually start to believe that you have an abundance where you are now. How do you think you could possibly get to earning millions of dollars or becoming the person that you want to be if you don't think that you have it now, that it's something that you have to get? Everything that you want in your life is not about getting anything. We don't even set goals to get things. The only reason that we set a goal is because that gives our life direction. It's not about getting, it's about becoming. And it starts with the internal transformation first. This is why so many people stay stuck, by the way, because they set the goal and then they start looking in the wrong place for the goal. Oh, I need to find this, and I need to get this, and I need to have that, and I need to train this person or hire that person or fire that one or get a new partner or get a new car. And then everything, it's like they hit a brick wall. Bam, nothing changes from that point forward because they're missing the gift. They're missing the real transformation, which is within. How do I become that person right now where I am? So we're taking the fundamental idea. We're not looking at the money. We're looking at the idea of abundance. Are you thinking abundantly? How do you spend money? Do you spend it abundantly based on where you are, right? Or do you constantly look for every place to cut corners? Are you constantly looking for coupons? Are you constantly looking to get 10% off here and 5% off here and sign up for this program where you get points for something? And that's all lack thinking. That is not abundant thinking. Abundant thinking is there's no shortage of money in the world. But if I understand how to step into that thought of abundance, I will start seeing the abundance that I have right now. The only reason that we walk around and we've been so conditioned, like save money, save money, save money, or take, money within the transaction. I'm not talking about like saving money in a bank account or in an investment. I'm talking about within a transaction, is because we've been conned to believe that there's not enough. And it's simply false. It's absolutely false. It's so false that people can't even look at the behavior and see the truth in it. It comes from fear. It comes from lack. But if you would believe that there's an abundance, you would start spending or purchasing or behaving as if there's abundance. And what does that do? It sets up the expectation that what you want to receive and bring into your life on a monetary perspective or any other perspective is abundant, that it's going to show up. How can you possibly become wealthy and do all the things that you want to do if you're thinking from a lack perspective of where you're starting, right? It doesn't get to the place that you want to get to. It's like subtracting when you should be adding. It's not going to get you to that place. There's many people that think, let me just trim off my budget. You cannot decrease your way to wealth. It doesn't happen. It won't work. I'll spend less. Let me save the little bit that I have. That doesn't get anybody wealthy. That keeps people scared. It keeps people broke. It keeps people viewing their world from the point of lack. It all starts with you expanding inside. I need to become the best person in this place right now. So whatever the goal is and whatever the characteristics of that goal is that you're setting for yourself, the idea is, how can I start experiencing those characteristics right now? How can I experience wealth now? How can I experience beauty now? How can I experience abundance now? How can I experience love now? How can I experience friendship now? How can I experience an amazing team now? How can I experience a great car or a great house or travel? How can I start to have those experiences right where I am at the moment? How can I do that right now where I am? It's by being your best in everything that you do today, and you will grow into the person that will be your best someplace else. And there's no goal, there's no vision, there's no purpose that you can't achieve. The moment that you visualize it, the moment that you bring it into the conceptualization within your own mind, you're automatically attached to it. It's already there. It's right here. It's around you all the time. But you have to change your internal vision so that you can see it externally. It's not halfway around the world or someplace else. Whatever you desire, by law, you're already connected to energetically, which means it must be here, and it must be here right now. But you have the responsibility of training yourself to see that.
All right.
Thanks for listening to the Successful Mind Podcast. If you like what you heard and you want to learn more, go to lifeisnowinc.com. I'll see you next week.